The drama begins with the female lead, Cha Moo-hye, who is shooting the final episode of a reality TV show. In front of her is Japanese actor Hiro, who is sharing his feelings with Cha Moo-hee. But the truth is, neither of them knows the other's language. The work of conversation between them is done by the male lead, Ho-jin, who stands at a distance and translates their words as an interpreter. Here, Hiro tells Cha Moo-hee, "My past few days have been very beautiful, and the real reason for that is you." Cha Moo-hee keeps pretending to listen without understanding his words. Just then, Hiro says what's really in his heart. "Cha Moo-hee, I've started to like you now." Hearing this, Ho-jin is shocked. Cha Moo-hee eagerly starts waiting for Ho-jin so she can find out what Hiro said. But Ho-jin remains silent in his nervousness for a while. Hiro also understands Ho-jin is not translating my words. So he tells Ho-jin, "I just want you to tell Cha Moo-hee what's in my heart." Finally, when Cha Moo-hee asks repeatedly, Ho-jin says with a heavy heart, "Hiro wants to say that he has started to like you now." Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee stands frozen in place. All of this started a year ago in Japan, where Ho-jin had come as an interpreter for his uncle, Mr. Kim's book interview. After getting free from the interview, Ho-jin sets out to explore Japan. During that time, Cha Moo-hee also arrives in Japan looking for someone. She travels on the same bus that Ho-jin is traveling on, but since they haven't met yet, they remain completely unaware of each other. Meanwhile, Cha Moo-hee talks to a waitress at a restaurant. Due to the language problem, she asks using her mobile translator, "Are you Momo-chan, the owner of this restaurant?" The waitress nods yes, and in this misunderstanding, she orders dumplings for her. Cha Moo-hee only knows, "If I want to talk to Momo-chan, my ex-boyfriend's current girlfriend, I need to learn to use the translator properly." Just then, Ho-jin comes and sits next to her. On one side, Cha Moo-hee is writing and reading something on the translator, while Ho-jin is reading magazines printed in different languages. When Cha Moo-hee's eyes fall on Ho-jin, she thinks in confusion. This guy could also be Korean, but he has a Japanese magazine in his hand, so he must be Japanese. After this, Cha Moo-hee starts writing many bad things about her boyfriend in the translator, which makes Ho-jin's reaction a bit strange. Seeing this, Cha Moo-hee becomes sure Ho-jin is actually Korean and has heard all my words. Coming in anger, she asks Ho-jin, "Were you pretending to be Japanese while being Korean so you could listen to all my words?" To this, Ho-jin replies, "I have no interest in your words." Then Cha Moo-hee asks him, "Then why were you pretending to read a Japanese magazine in front of me?" Ho-jin answers directly, "I wasn't putting on any act. I'm an interpreter who knows how to speak and understand different countries' languages." But Cha Moo-hee doesn't believe any of his words until a foreign customer's child sitting nearby suddenly becomes ill. Ho-jin immediately talks to that foreigner in his own language and tells the waitress, "Quickly call an ambulance. This child has had an allergic reaction." After this, Ho-jin helps those foreigners and takes them to the ambulance. Now Cha Moo-hee becomes convinced Ho-jin is truly an interpreter and understands every language, and she wants to take advantage of this very fact. She pleads with Ho-jin, "Will you help me talk to the owner of this restaurant?" But Ho-jin quickly refuses, saying, "I don't want to become a third wheel between you and your boyfriend." Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee explains to him, "I've come from very far, and if I don't take help from an interpreter like you, my coming here will be in vain." Finally, Ho-jin takes pity on her and agrees to help. He introduces her to the restaurant owner, Momo-chan, who is actually a pregnant woman. Seeing this, Cha Moo-hee's heart breaks. She comes outside in anger and starts cursing Momo-chan. Just then, Ho-jin tells her Momo-chan's message. She says, "The child growing in my womb is not Eugene's but my ex-husband's. Eugene just supported me at a time when I had no one. And if you want, you can resume your relationship with Eugene again." Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee becomes ready to talk to Momo-chan again. But Ho-jin stops her, saying, "I will only accompany you if you stop the abusive language and talk peacefully." Cha Moo-hee agrees to his words and goes to Momo-chan. Then she asks Momo-chan through Ho-jin, "When we were in a relationship, he used to disappear from time to time making excuses about work. Was he coming to meet you during that time?" Momo-chan nods yes. Seeing this, Cha Moo-hee becomes even angrier and starts saying random things to her. But at the end, Momo-chan says, "When Eugene came to Japan to study, he fell in love with me. He said then, Cha Moo-hee is like darkness surrounded only by sorrow. Her own family has abandoned her. And Eugene was afraid, if I tell you about our love, you will be hurt even more. That's why he hid this matter from you." After this, Cha Moo-hee doesn't need Ho-jin's translation. She understands from Momo-chan's words, this is what she wants to say, and this thing breaks her from inside. Becoming sad, Cha Moo-hee tells Ho-jin, I don't want to cry in front of this witch and show myself as weak. Hearing this, Hojin gives Cha Moo-hee his shoulder to lean on, where she cries to her heart's content. Finally, both of them congratulate Momo-chan for her new relationship and leave from there. Just then, Hojin receives a call from that same foreigner customer. Our son is completely fine now because of you. So, we want you to have dinner at the restaurant we already booked as a gift. This will be a small token from our side. As soon as the call ends, Hojin understands, this is what I need to do. He asks Cha Moo-hee, will you come to dinner with me? Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee becomes so happy that she becomes ready to go that very moment. But then Hojin tells her, our table is booked for 7 p.m. in the evening. So why don't we explore the beauty of Japan together until then? After this, both of them start roaming around Japan. During this time, Hojin learns Cha Moo-hee is a minor actress. She has worked in films, but she never got big roles. After some time, they get photos clicked on the mountains, and Cha Moo-hee secretly takes a picture of Hojin and posts it on Instagram. There, Hojin thinks in his mind, this mountain is the favorite place of that girl I like, and today is also her birthday. To this, Cha Moo-hee tells Hojin, you can openly share what's in your heart with me. Hojin replies, how can I share my personal things with a stranger? Then Cha Moo-hee assures him, saying, I'm a stranger. That's exactly why you can tell me everything openly. In this way, both of them keep talking while roaming and finally stand on both sides of a railway track. Just then, Hojin receives a call from his friend. Hojin, Jin-soon has gotten angry with me again. This time she has posted a photo on Instagram. She seems to be in Japan. Hearing this, Hojin is shocked. The one I like is my friend's girlfriend. He tells Cha Moo-hee, the girl I like is right here in Japan. Cha Moo-hee, happy for him, says, then what are you doing here? You should go to her and tell her what's in your heart. I'm sure after you go there, everything will change. After this, Hojin runs off to find Jin-soon. There, Cha Moo-hee becomes a little disappointed. I was very happy meeting Hojin, but he didn't even take my number. Sometime later, Cha Moo-hee is shooting a zombie film. She knows, this is my first film in which I became the female lead, so I am ready to put my whole heart into this role. But when she learns there has been an argument between the production team and the action director over something, she herself agrees to do a dangerous stunt. This proves to be her biggest mistake. As soon as the shoot ends, she falls down hard and goes into a coma. A few months later, when her eyes open, she has completely recovered. But now she has become a famous celebrity. Her last film, The Quiet Woman, had created a stir all over the world. After her accident, people had started following her day and night. Everyone now knew Cha Moo-hee by her film character's name, Dorami. Seeing all this, Cha Moo-hee realizes, this is the first time people are celebrating like this for me. Here, Hojin also gets the news Cha Moo-hee has regained consciousness, and hearing this, he becomes very happy. But there, after her new success, Cha Moo-hee starts giving interviews on big TV channels. In this way, after one interview, she looks at herself in the mirror. Just then, she sees a shadow of Dorami. Cha Moo-hee dismisses it. It's just the effect of fatigue and illusion. On one side, she is very happy with her new success, while on the other side, Hojin's life is going in a completely opposite direction. Here, Uncle Kim advises Hojin, son, now you should think about marriage. To this, Hojin says sarcastically, but uncle, for that, there also needs to be a girl. Just then, Uncle Kim shows him Cha Moo-hee's Instagram post saying, this photo is yours, right? When you and Dorami were dating each other in Japan? Uncle Kim shows him the same picture that Cha Moo-hee had shared in her post without asking Hojin. Seeing and hearing this, Hojin clearly refuses, no, this is not me, and there is nothing between me and Cha Moo-hee. We have never even met each other. Saying this much, he leaves from there to meet his friends. But there, his friends are also talking about that same photo. They say, I have even told my mother that the person in this photo is Hojin, and he knows Dorami well. Hearing all this, Hojin feels very bad. He tells everyone, in that photo, it's not me, but someone else. But his friends are completely convinced that person is Hojin. Here, the interview manager tells Cha Moo-hee, you now have to get ready for a foreign TV interview. Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee asks nervously, but this interview will be in English, and I don't know English. The manager explains to her, saying, you don't need to worry. We have already arranged for an interpreter. You just have to give the interview wholeheartedly. In this way, Cha Moo-hee arrives to give the interview. As soon as the first question is asked, she hears a familiar voice. She turns around to look. Seeing Hojin in front, she just keeps looking at him for a few moments. But controlling herself, she starts paying attention to the interview again. In this same interview, Cha Moo-hee is also asked a question. You have posted a photo of a person on Instagram. Everyone wants to know who exactly he is. Can you tell us about him? Cha Moo-hee first glances at Hojin and, keeping the matter normal, says, he was just a stranger who helped me a lot in Japan. To this, the interviewer asks another question. So there was no relationship between you two? To this, Cha Moo-hee replies, "We were strangers to each other and nothing more than that." After the interview ends, Hojin reaches Cha Moo-hee's van to meet her. He tells her, "I came here to talk to you about something." But before Hojin can say anything more, Cha Moo-hee has to leave for another interview. While leaving, she tells Hojin, "Can you wait for me for a while?" Hojin agrees for her sake. During the time Cha Moo-hee is giving the interview, Hojin stands at a distance watching her and gives a slight smile. Finally, after the interview, Cha Moo-hee, with her face covered, goes to have dinner alone with Hojin. There, Cha Moo-hee excitedly asks Hojin, "So what did you come here to tell me?" Actually, Cha Moo-hee thinks, Hojin has started to like me and will confess this very thing. But she is proven wrong when Hojin says, "I want you to delete that Instagram photo that you posted without my permission." Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee says angrily, "So you came all this way just to say this? If that was the case, why didn't you tell me earlier?" Hojin explains, saying, "I tried, but you never had time." To this, Cha Moo-hee also agrees and becomes ready to delete the photo. But then she says, "If I delete this photo right now, people will misunderstand it and even more discussion will start about it." Hearing this, Hojin stops her, saying, "Then let it be for now, but can you change its date?" Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee doesn't understand anything. Then Hojin says in a somewhat sad voice, "Because of your action, people might find out that I was present in Japan that day." Just then, Cha Moo-hee understands everything. She asks Hojin, "So all this is for that girl? This means you couldn't meet her that day, and nothing changed for you." Hojin replies, "No, nothing changed for me. But Miss Cha Moo-hee, I'm happy for you because a lot has changed in your life from then until now, and I want you to get all the happiness." After this, both of them start heading back. Just then, Cha Moo-hee, taking advantage of this opportunity, says, "You can take my number, and as soon as something is decided about the photo, let me know." But Hojin refuses to take her number. Just then, Cha Moo-hee's manager, Yong-woo, arrives there and treats Hojin very nicely. Hojin says, "I'll think about the photo by tomorrow and tell the manager." Saying this, he leaves from there. But Cha Moo-hee is even more surprised. Yong-woo knows Hojin from before. She asks Yong-woo, "How do you know Hojin?" Then Yong-woo tells her the whole truth. "Miss Cha Moo-hee, during your coma, Mr. Hojin used to come to meet you every few days. When you were in the general ward, he helped you a lot." Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee is even more surprised. She asks Yong-woo, "Was I in the general ward during the coma?" Yong-woo replies, "After you went into a coma, the production was only thinking about whom to blame for this accident. No one had any idea that after the film's release, you would become such a big superstar. During that time, Mr. Hojin kept coming to meet you." The next day, Cha Moo-hee starts finding out everything about that girl, Hojin's crush, Ji-seon. Meanwhile, she also receives a message from Hojin in which he writes, "I am deleting the Instagram post." That same night, Cha Moo-hee decides to call Hojin's number, which she got from Yong-woo. After much thought, she calls and says, "I called to tell you that I have deleted the Instagram post." But luck doesn't support Cha Moo-hee. This time she accidentally dials Yong-woo instead. Just then, Yong-woo speaks on the phone without paying attention. "Madam Cha Moo-hee, just as you said, I have found out everything about Ji-seon." Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee turns red with embarrassment. She immediately goes to Hojin's house to meet him so she can apologize. There, Cha Moo-hee, apologizing for her mistake, asks, "If we had gone to the restaurant together that day instead of separating, would there be something different between us today?" Actually, Cha Moo-hee still has hope in her heart. Hojin likes me somewhere. But Hojin explains to her by telling his story. "Ji-seon and I were very good friends before, but fate played such a game that I could never tell her what was in my heart. Later, she became my friend's girlfriend. That day, too, I came to Japan only so I could meet Ji-seon. So no, even if we had had dinner together that day, there still would have been nothing between us." Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee becomes a little sad, but she accepts this truth. Hojin never loved me. She starts to leave from there. Just then, Hojin stops her, saying, "Even though there may be no relationship between us, I will be with you in every celebration. Among thousands of claps, one clap will also be from my hands. I hope you will go to great heights." After this, Cha Moo-hee leaves from there. The very next moment, she is present at an award show. All around, people are clapping for her, but just then she sees Dorami. Seeing Dorami in reality in front of her, Cha Moo-hee becomes completely quiet. Just a few moments later, she is about to faint and fall when Japanese actor Hiro catches her in his hands. Seeing Hiro and Cha Moo-hee together, everyone starts taking their pictures. Meanwhile, a TV production house is casting for their new show. When they are shown that same picture of Cha Moo-hee and Hiro, they like this pair so much and decide, "We will cast both of them in our show." Here, Cha Moo-hee becomes so troubled by Dorami that she goes straight to Hojin's room. In the beginning, Hojin is surprised to see her, but when he sees Cha Moo-hee crying, he becomes quiet. The very next moment, late at night, both of them go to meet a doctor. There, Cha Moo-hee tells the doctor everything that has been troubling her for many days. She says, "For the past many days, I've been seeing Dorami. Initially, I thought it was just an illusion, but gradually she started appearing everywhere to me. Doctor, have I gotten some disease or am I going crazy?" To this, the doctor asks Cha Moo-hee, "In such cases, this could be connected to your childhood or family trauma. Can you tell me about your parents?" After becoming a little calm, Cha Moo-hee says, "I had an accident in childhood in which my parents died, but I don't remember anything from that day." The doctor gives her light medicines and sends her home. There, Hojin becomes worried inside. Her condition is not good. After this, Cha Moo-hee, thanking Hojin, says, "This is the last time we're meeting each other, because if we meet next time, I won't be able to stop myself from crying in front of you. I don't want you to know more about me." Saying this, both of them go their separate ways. A few days later, that same TV production calls for a meeting. The show's producer tells Hojin, "We need an interpreter for our new show and we can't find anyone better than you for this." But Hojin declines this offer and starts to leave from there. Actually, Gision had recommended him, "You should come to this meeting," and he didn't want to meet her at any cost. After this, Hojin meets his friend. During dinner, the friend tells him, "Dude, I heard you turned down that TV show offer. You did well. Anyway, Gision and I are getting married next month, and you definitely have to come to it." Hearing about Gision and marriage, Hojin breaks from inside. Just then, Gision also arrives there, and, using the friend as an excuse, talks to Hojin about that same TV project. "I want you to reconsider this TV show offer." This time, Hojin accepts this offer because he thought, "This TV show is going to be shot in Canada next month. This way, I can keep myself away from Gision's wedding." But Hojin gets the next shock when Cha Moo-hee stands in front of him as the show's female lead. Once again, fate brings them face to face. But this time, things are not easy for Cha Moo-hee. For the past many days, she has been living in a lot of stress and sadness because of Dorami. Due to this, she is unable to perform well in the interview, and the producer's trust in her gradually starts to decrease. After the interview, Cha Moo-hee once again decides to meet Hojin. But this time, Hojin asks her angrily, "You came to do such a big project even in this condition?" To this, Cha Moo-hee replies, "You don't need to worry about me. I can take care of myself." Then Hojin asks her, "Did you get rechecked by the doctor later? What did they say?" After thinking a bit, Cha Moo-hee says, "The doctor said I have no injury, and science also has no reason for my problem." Hearing this, Hojin says angrily, "Do you know how troubled you looked during the interview?" To this, Cha Moo-hee also says angrily, "Then go tell them that Cha Moo-hee has gone crazy. She keeps seeing Dorami again and again. This will make working on your project easier." But just then, Hojin becomes calm and says, "There's no need to do that. I'm leaving this project myself." Saying this, Hojin leaves from there. Here, Cha Moo-hee immediately starts regretting her words. "I shouldn't have said that." She goes into the elevator where she sees Dorami again. This time, instead of stepping back, she confronts Dorami. In no time, inside the elevator, she loses her balance and starts behaving strangely. The show's producer sees all this. When Cha Moo-hee realizes, "The producer and Hojin have seen me," she leaves from there feeling embarrassed. There, when Hojin reaches home, he asks Uncle Kim, "Uncle Kim, what do you think about how I talk to people?" Uncle Kim replies, "You speak clearly, but your words sound like taunts to the other person. If you want to bring change in yourself, you'll have to reduce the bitterness of your tongue and add a little sweetness to it." In this way, Hojin also realizes, even though I was thinking about Cha Moo-hee's well-being, my words were hitting her like arrows. That very moment, he decides, "Now I will work on my tongue and change my way of speaking." Sometime later, both of them meet again. This time, both of them apologize to each other for their bad behavior. Finally, they go out for a walk. There, Cha Moo-hee tells Hojin, "After that day's behavior, I don't think the TV production will cast me for that show." Just then, Cha Moo-hee gets a call from Yong-woo. After hanging up, she becomes even more sad. In that same sadness, she tells Hojin, "Yong-woo told me the production people have cast you and have also sent your contract." Hearing this, Hojin asks in surprise, "Then you should be happy, right?" To this, Cha Moo-hee says, "I'm feeling scared. How will I be able to live abroad? I don't know English properly, and I haven't completely recovered from Dorami's problem either." Just then, Hojin understands. Cha Moo-hee is actually asking me to come with her too. He tells her, "Okay, I'll also work with you on this project. At least I'll have an excuse not to go to the wedding." In this way, both of them become happy about their new journey. Sometime later, Hiro and Cha Moo-hee's first online meeting is arranged. On one side, Cha Moo-hee is happy to become Hiro's co-star, but on the other side, Hiro's face shows a different kind of sadness. He thinks, "I don't want to work with an actress whose image is that of a negative character like Dorami." Out of compulsion, Hiro has to come to Canada. Here, Ho-jin understands everything just by looking at his face. Then the producer tells Ho-jin, Hiro refused to come to Canada as soon as he heard Cha Moo-hee's name, but he agreed at your insistence. Thank you for this. Actually, Hiro's agent had accepted this offer thinking, given Dorami's current fan base, it could increase Hiro's image and popularity. After this, Ho-jin comes back to his room, where he shares the room with Yong-woo. There, Cha Moo-hee takes advantage of this and, making an excuse about Yong-woo, knocks on the door. As soon as Ho-jin opens the door, Cha Moo-hee, acting, says, "Oh, I thought Yong-woo would be here. Never mind, I'll leave." But poor Cha Moo-hee doesn't know that at that very moment, Ho-jin is talking to Yong-woo because she had left her phone with Yong-woo. Understanding this, she turns red with embarrassment. Just then, Ho-jin tells her, "Now that you've come this far, why don't we go out for a walk?" After this, both of them go out for a walk together and start talking. Just then, Cha Moo-hee asks Ho-jin, "So what happened about Gision's wedding?" Ho-jin replies, "It's next week. The good thing is that I'll be here at that time." After this, Ho-jin asks Cha Moo-hee about Dorami. To this, Cha Moo-hee says, "Now she doesn't appear as much as before. Now she's just like my old memories." Ho-jin asks in surprise, "What kind of memories?" Cha Moo-hee tells him, "When I'm happy, Dorami appears to me and starts discouraging me." Hearing all this, Ho-jin understands Dorami is actually the negative thinking buried inside Cha Moo-hee, which forces her to make wrong decisions. This thing also starts to make a little sense to Cha Moo-hee. After this, the first day of shooting begins where a date scene is to be filmed. Cha Moo-hee has prepared for this scene the night before. As soon as the shoot starts, Cha Moo-hee, running after a balloon, meets Hiro. Cha Moo-hee looks very happy, while Hiro just pretends to be happy. Both of them talk to each other, and Ho-jin translates those words. After this, Cha Moo-hee, showing the flowers she made with her hard work, asks Hiro, "So, how do you like these?" Looking at the flowers, Hiro says, "This is one of the most useless things in the world." Ho-jin hears all this but doesn't say anything to anyone. Just then, Hiro starts pretending to have lost his contact lens. Because of this, the shoot is stopped, and all the blame falls on Cha Moo-hee. Now, to correct her mistake, Cha Moo-hee starts looking for Hiro's lens. But Ho-jin knows Hiro is doing all this deliberately. He decides to handle this situation himself. The very next moment, he plans to meet someone special. As soon as Ho-jin sits in the car, Cha Moo-hee also sits with him. During the conversation throughout the journey, Cha Moo-hee asks him, "When you met Hiro for the first time, what was he thinking about me?" Ho-jin calmly tells her the whole truth. Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee becomes a little disappointed. After this, Ho-jin tells her, "You wait here for me. I'll go meet someone." After this, Ho-jin goes to meet that unknown person. There, Cha Moo-hee, while roaming around, reaches the same place where Hiro is already present and taking pictures here and there. Seeing this, Cha Moo-hee understands Hiro deliberately did all that drama so he wouldn't have to work. Just then, Dorami appears in front of Cha Moo-hee once again. This time, she has a stone in her hand and instigates Cha Moo-hee to throw the stone at Hiro. But Cha Moo-hee somehow controls herself. Just then, Hiro sees her and leaves from there. At the same time, Ho-jin also reaches there. This time, Cha Moo-hee sadly asks Ho-jin, "I want to know what exactly Hiro's problem is with me." Ho-jin tells her, "From the day he found out you're his co-star, he's had a problem with you since that day." Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee becomes even sadder and leaves from there. There, Ho-jin goes straight to meet Hiro. There, he places an envelope in front of him, saying, "I want you to reconsider your decision. Not doing this shoot might prove harmful for you." After this, it's revealed that Hiro agrees to start shooting again, which makes the producers very happy. Meanwhile, Ho-jin sets out to find Cha Moo-hee. He sees her at a corner where she is giving autographs to many people. Seeing this, Ho-jin becomes happy. After this, he separately tells Cha Moo-hee, "Now you should leave because shooting starts tomorrow." Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee becomes happy again, and in this way, she forgets her anger with Ho-jin. The real reason for Hiro's change of decision was that his manager had already told Ho-jin Hiro wants to see Canada's famous snow game. That's why Ho-jin went to meet that special person, so that somehow tickets for that show could be obtained. Finally, after getting the tickets, Ho-jin gives that same envelope to Hiro. Hiro can't refuse this offer and says yes to the shoot. But during this same meeting, Hiro also puts a condition in front of everyone. As long as the shoot continues, Cha Moo-hee and I will travel separately. To this, the producers agree, but also ask, if a time comes when you two have become quite close to each other, will you still say the same? To this, Hiro tells Ho-jin, "If it ever happens that I fall in love with Cha Moo-hee, I'll want you to convey this to Cha Moo-hee for me." During this time, Ho-jin agrees to this from the outside, but inside he starts feeling something strange. What is this feeling? As soon as the shoot starts again, Hiro gradually becomes smitten with Cha Moo-hee's sweet actions. He himself doesn't realize when and how he is falling in love with her. But there, a new problem arises in front of Cha Moo-hee. The show's head tells her, "Our producer has gone back due to personal work. Shooting has been stopped until the new producer arrives." Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee becomes sad and asks, "So, does this mean we won't be able to see the Aurora tomorrow?" Aurora is a natural phenomenon that appears especially in Canada from time to time. At the same time, another thought comes to Cha Moo-hee's mind. She plans to have drinks with Ho-jin today and goes to Yong-woo's room on this pretext. She gets ready nicely, but just then, Yong-woo tells her, "Miss Cha Moo-hee, Mr. Ho-jin has gone out for some work. Until then, we can comfortably have drinks." Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee becomes even sadder. She had come here only to meet Ho-jin, which now doesn't seem possible. During this time, her eyes fall on Ho-jin's kept shoes. She excitedly starts trying them on. A few hours later, Ho-jin returns. Seeing him, Cha Moo-hee is a bit surprised. She starts going back to her room, but just then, Ho-jin comes outside to drop her off. Meanwhile, Ho-jin makes a mistake. He leaves his keycard inside the room, due to which he is unable to go back to his room. There, Yong-woo has fallen into a deep sleep after drinking. Just then, Cha Moo-hee also shocks him by telling him, "I also left my keycard in that same room." In this way, both of them are unable to go back to their respective rooms. Finally, they decide to sleep in the lobby. The next morning, they plan to roam around together. While roaming, they also reach a restaurant. Here, Ho-jin notices that Cha Moo-hee is collecting 4-leaf clovers. To this, Cha Moo-hee tells him, "I'm collecting these for my luck. I think if fate supports me, I'll be able to see the Aurora." Hearing this, Ho-jin is very happy for her. The very next moment, he goes outside for some work, and during this time, Cha Moo-hee starts collecting leaves again. Just then, Cha Moo-hee gets a call from Ho-jin. He says in a panicked voice, "I've lost my way. Can you come find me?" And in this way, Cha Moo-hee sets out to find Ho-jin and quickly finds him too. But the scene that comes in front of her breaks her completely from inside. She sees Gision standing right in front of Ho-jin. After this, all three of them start heading home. On the way, Cha Moo-hee learns Gision is the new producer of our show and that's why she came here. But Cha Moo-hee feels very bad seeing both of them together. Gathering courage, she asks Gision, "Your wedding is next week, right? Then how are you here?" To this, Gision replies, "The show urgently needed a new producer, so I came here." However, the real truth is something else which Gision keeps hidden in her heart. After this, both of them come to drop off Cha Moo-hee. Before leaving, Cha Moo-hee asks Ho-jin, "Now don't say you didn't know about Gision coming." Ho-jin says in clear words, "I'm just as surprised as you. I didn't know anything about this." Saying this, Ho-jin leaves from there, and Cha Moo-hee sadly sits in a park. Just then, Hiro comes there jogging. For the first time, he wants to talk to Cha Moo-hee, so he sits next to her. But due to the language problem, neither of them can understand the other's words. Finally, Cha Moo-hee openly tells Hiro everything in her heart, and Hiro just keeps pretending to understand. That same evening, everyone is celebrating. During this time, Gision tells everyone, "I will take responsibility for the entire Canada shoot myself. And as far as the wedding is concerned, I'm postponing it for some time." Hearing this, everyone is surprised, and Ho-jin starts worrying about his friend. Why did she postpone the wedding? Just then, Cha Moo-hee arrives there. Seeing Ho-jin sad, she can't stop herself from speaking. She knows Ho-jin is trying to keep himself away from Gision as much as possible. So she tells Ho-jin, "Isn't it possible for you to take someone else's support to get away from your love? Maybe it will reduce your pain a little." But Ho-jin doesn't like this at all. In anger, he tells Cha Moo-hee, "What do you think? I haven't tried all this before. And what do you want? That I should get close to you so I can forget Giseon?" Ho-jin's these bitter words hurt Cha Moo-hee very much. She goes to her room and bursts into tears. And like every time, this time too, Dorami seems to celebrate her sorrow. The next day, shooting starts again. Cha Moo-hee, who until now was very excited about seeing the Aurora after yesterday's incident, just prays, "I hope I don't see the Aurora today." Before the shoot starts, Gision tells Cha Moo-hee, "Today, Hiro's manager will interpret instead of Ho-jin." Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee asks in surprise, "But why?" Gision replies, "Mr. Ho-jin's car had a small accident, so he'll be late arriving." Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee starts worrying about Ho-jin. Somehow, after finishing the shoot, she sends a message to Ho-jin. In the message, she writes, "As soon as you return, definitely reply to me." Several hours later, luck supports her. Ho-jin not only replies to her, but also calls her to meet him alone. Cha Moo-hee immediately runs to reach Ho-jin. Ho-jin tells her, "I didn't get any injury. It was just a small accident. Nothing else." Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee feels a little relieved. Just then, Ho-jin signals her to look up. As soon as Cha Moo-hee looks up, she lights up with joy seeing the Aurora. Her dream was to see the Aurora with Ho-jin, and today this dream of hers has come true. At that moment, both of them spend good time together. Here, Yong-woo accidentally picks up Giseon's phone. Just then, he learns Gision not only postponed the wedding, but has already broken up and ended that relationship. Hearing this, Yong-woo is a bit surprised, but he is unable to tell this to anyone. The next day, shooting starts again. During this time, Cha Moo-hee and Hiro meet each other. This time, Cha Moo-hee doesn't want the language barrier to come between them, so she uses a mobile translator. But as soon as Cha Moo-hee asks him, "Tell me what's in your heart," Hiro comes very close to her and suddenly leaves from there. Actually, at this time, he thinks, I don't want Cha Moo-hee to think that I have started to like her. After this, Cha Moo-hee goes to meet Ho-jin. This time, she does something different. While talking, she somehow comes so close that she kisses Ho-jin. Ho-jin is completely shocked seeing this. There, Cha Moo-hee, controlling herself, says, I didn't do all this. Dorami forced me to do this. After this, Cha Moo-hee leaves from there. But Ho-jin sits there shocked. That same night, a party is held to celebrate the completion of the Canada shoot. At the end of the party, Cha Moo-hee tells everyone, I'm going back for now due to work. We'll meet soon for the Italy shoot. But inside, only these questions are roaming in Cha Moo-hee's mind. Didn't that kiss make any difference to Ho-jin? Won't he ask me anything about this? Do I not matter to him at all? Thinking all this, Cha Moo-hee is unable to sleep the whole night and sets out the next morning to catch her flight. But just then, Ho-jin arrives there. Seeing him, Cha Moo-hee becomes very happy. During the journey, Ho-jin tells her, after what happened yesterday, I couldn't sleep the whole night. I still don't understand what all that was. Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee's heart feels a little relieved. She feels good that Ho-jin cared about her. She tells him, I only know that Dorami forcibly made me do all that. Then Ho-jin understands. Cha Moo-hee likes me somewhere. So he tells her, I want to give you an honest answer. So first, I'll talk to Gision and tell her everything in my heart. Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee is a little surprised, but she reaches the airport straight away. In her mind, it keeps running. Ho-jin will tell Giseon what's in his heart and then return to me. Just then, Youngwoo tells her the truth. Giseon has broken off her engagement, and now she's single again. Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee's heart breaks. She realizes, if I let Ho-jin meet Giseon, it will be too late for me. That's why she leaves her flight and sets out straight to find Ho-jin. But by then, it's already too late because Ho-jin and Giseon are sitting in front of each other. Here, Dorami appears in front of Cha Moo-hee once again. This time she shows her how Giseon and Ho-jin have now become each other's. Seeing all this, Cha Moo-hee breaks and starts to leave from there without saying anything. But Ho-jin, sitting a little distance away, catches sight of her. He immediately goes after her and stops her standing in front of her. This time, Cha Moo-hee openly says what's in her heart. She says, today I admit that I had fallen in love with you, but I also accept that you never loved me. Hearing this, Ho-jin becomes very sad and replies, when we met for the first time, I never crossed the line. But this time, I had decided to cross the line. But you ruined everything in just one moment. Actually, Ho-jin thought, I will tell Giseon everything clearly and then come to Cha Moo-hee. But by the time Cha Moo-hee understands this, it's already too late. Ho-jin once again goes away from Cha Moo-hee, and Cha Moo-hee, crying over her fate, catches her flight back. But on that same flight, Hiro is also traveling. However, during this time, Cha Moo-hee does something that she doesn't remember at all later. But after that flight, Hiro becomes even more attracted to Cha Moo-hee. Sometime later, Youngwoo tells Cha Moo-hee, I heard Hiro has come to Korea. To this, Cha Moo-hee casually says, maybe he has some work here. But Youngwoo, smiling, says, maybe he came to meet you. Did something happen between you two on the flight that night? Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee thinks for a while and then says, yes, we did meet that night, but I don't remember anything after that. In further conversation, Cha Moo-hee also learns Youngwoo is soon going to change his room and shift to Ho-jin's house. Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee thinks in her mind, now I should accept that nothing can happen between us. Sometime later, she goes to a concert where Ho-jin is working as an interpreter. Ho-jin sees her but deliberately ignores her. Uncle Kim is standing next to Cha Moo-hee, who sees both of them avoiding each other. After the concert ends, Cha Moo-hee sets out to find Ho-jin, but she sees some other interpreter in his place. She starts thinking that maybe she had some misunderstanding. Just then, Uncle Kim deliberately pretends and calls Ho-jin, so that Cha Moo-hee's attention goes towards them. Kim says, I've been looking for you for so long. You reach the parking, I'm coming there. Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee also follows them into the elevator. As soon as the elevator opens, Ho-jin is standing there. But before Cha Moo-hee can say anything, Uncle Kim invites her to dinner at his house. Now, even if he wants to, Ho-jin can't refuse Cha Moo-hee and brings her to his house. After reaching home, Ho-jin signals Cha Moo-hee to go back. But Cha Moo-hee, ignoring him, tells Uncle Kim, maybe I'm feeling hungry, so I should have dinner right here. In this way, Cha Moo-hee starts helping with making dinner along with Ho-jin. There, Hiro is taking photos outside in the cold. Just then, his manager asks him, are you waiting to meet Cha Moo-hee? Hiro, with a false smile, denies and says, no, I just came to capture the beauty of Korea in my camera, nothing else. But the truth was that Hiro was really waiting to meet Cha Moo-hee. He thought, as soon as Cha Moo-hee finds out I have come to Korea, she will come running to meet me. But after waiting uselessly for many hours, this misunderstanding breaks and he returns to his hotel disappointed. Here, meanwhile, Ji-seon and Young-woo also meet. Gradually during the conversation, both of them come quite close to each other. There, after dinner, Chamuhee once again puts what's in her heart in front of Hojin. She says, "You can refuse me 100 times, but I'm a naughty girl who will keep coming after you again and again." In a way, she forces him to come close to her again. After dinner, when Chamuhee is about to go home, Hojin's eyes fall on her hands. There, she has hidden Hojin's favorite music CD. Hojin, smiling, says, "You didn't need to steal this. I had kept this CD for you. You can keep it with you." Hearing this, Chamuhee becomes very happy and takes a taxi and leaves from there. But just a short while later, she realizes, "I have brought only the cover of the CD, and the actual CD has been left at Hojin's house." She is just thinking about this when Hojin's call comes. He says, "I'm coming to your house to give you the CD. Send me your address." Hearing this, Chamuhee's happiness knows no bounds. She feels good that Hojin is coming to her house himself to meet her. But on one side, Hojin has already set out towards her house to meet her, while on the other side, something else is written in Chamuhee's fate, because when she is waiting for Hojin, suddenly her uncle and aunt arrive there. Seeing them, Chamuhee's whole world turns upside down. Sometime later, Hojin reaches Chamuhee's house, but not finding her at home, he becomes worried. He calls her many times, but Chamuhee doesn't pick up even one call. The next day, Hojin starts worrying about Chamuhee. He calls Youngwoo and asks, "Chamuhee is not picking up my phone. Has something happened to her?" Youngwoo explains to him, saying, "You're worrying unnecessarily, Mr. Hojin. She's absolutely fine and is doing a photo shoot right now." Hearing this, Hojin is shocked. He thinks, "Why did Chamuhee do this to me?" Due to this misunderstanding, once again, distance and pain come between both of them. But the truth is something else. Actually, as soon as Chamuhee saw her uncle and aunt, she thought, "Some suppressed memories of my childhood are coming back." At that very moment, Dorami completely takes control of Chamuhee's body. Although Chamuhee looks the same from outside, Dorami has now become a part of her personality, which now starts appearing in reality in front of everyone. After becoming Dorami, Chamuhee becomes much braver and bolder than before. She starts doing the photo shoot in that same form with confidence. That same night, when Hojin reaches his house, he meets not Chamuhee, but Dorami. Dorami tells Hojin in clear words, "Don't have any misunderstanding by considering me Chamuhee. Chamuhee is a cowardly girl, and I am Dorami." But Hojin finds all of Chamuhee's words nonsense. He says in a stern tone, "If you came here as Dorami to apologize to me, then forget it. Even after yesterday, I will never forgive Chamuhee." To this, Dorami, laughing, says, "Yes, you should do exactly that. I also want you to never forgive Chamuhee. She's just a cowardly girl who knows nothing but running away." Hojin asks angrily, "Will you still keep pretending to be Dorami?" Dorami calmly replies, "I just want you and Chamuhee to never come close to each other, because coming close will only give you pain." Finally, Hojin, getting fed up, books a cab for Chamuhee to go home. But instead of going in the cab, Chamuhee decides to stay there. Not only that, she mixes sleeping pills in Hojin's water, which makes Hojin unconscious. The next morning, when Hojin's eyes open, he asks Youngwoo, "Have you ever seen Chamuhee becoming Dorami?" Youngwoo, laughing, says, "Yes, many times." Whenever she pretends to become Dorami, she becomes even more bold and brave, as if she has really become some Dorami. Hearing all this, Hojin becomes convinced, "Last night I really met Dorami." Sometime later, Chamuhee and Hojin meet again. But this time, Chamuhee truly apologizes to Hojin for what she did. There, on the other side, Hojin is still completely confused about this mystery between Dorami and Chamuhee. Sometime later, we learn Chamuhee already knew about her new personality, Dorami. During the photo shoot, she herself had asked for help. "Dorami, please help me." And only then had Dorami taken control of her body. When Chamuhee closes her eyes, she becomes Dorami, but she doesn't remember anything that happens during that time later. In this way, she once again goes to meet Hiro. Hiro has many things in his heart, and despite the language problem, he asks her, "Why did you kiss me on the flight that day?" Actually, on that flight, it was not Chamuhee but Dorami who kissed Hiro. That's why feelings for Chamuhee had awakened in Hiro's heart. But understanding all this, Chamuhee gets nervous and runs to the washroom. There, looking at herself in the mirror, she tells Dorami, "I don't know why you want to ruin my life, but what will happen if I close my eyes again?" As soon as Chamuhee closes her eyes, Dorami comes out once again. During this time, Hojin calls Chamuhee on the phone and says, "I don't know what you actually are, but I want to talk to you alone." This time, Dorami becomes ready to meet him. Not only that, to make the game more interesting, she goes to Hiro and says something in his ear. Now, shooting is soon going to start in Italy, but Cha Moo-hee reaches there 2 days early. Ho-jin is already waiting for her. Both of them go to a restaurant where Dorami tells Ho-jin, "If you're thinking you'll defeat me and cure Cha Moo-hee, you're in a big misunderstanding." To this, Ho-jin replies calmly but with confidence, "You are actually that thinking of Cha Moo-hee. What she can't do herself, you make her do that." Seeing Ho-jin's this courage and clear understanding, Dorami becomes quiet for the first time. Then with a slight smile, she says, "Okay, if you really make Cha Moo-hee happy, I'll leave from here forever." Dorami's this statement gives Ho-jin new hope. He feels, maybe this is the way through which Cha Moo-hee can be brought out of her trouble. After this, both of them start roaming around on the streets of Italy, walking among cafes, alleys, and open roads. Finally, Ho-jin asks Dorami, "So tell me, what do I have to do so that Cha Moo-hee becomes happy and you leave forever?" To this, Dorami says in a tone of light jest and mischief, "For now, if you want to make Cha Moo-hee happy, first bring me a cup of hot coffee." Ho-jin does just that without saying anything. He goes towards the nearby cafe, but by the time he comes back with the coffee, Dorami has disappeared. In her place, Cha Moo-hee is now standing there. Cha Moo-hee is first surprised to find herself in Italy, but she is even more surprised when she sees Hiro standing right in front of her. Actually, while leaving, Dorami had told Hiro in his ear, "Cha Moo-hee is going to meet you 2 days early in Italy." Ho-jin, standing at a distance, understands all this. He recognizes, now it's not Dorami, but Cha Moo-hee in front of me. And as soon as he sees Cha Moo-hee standing with Hiro, without saying anything, slowly, quietly, he goes back from there. After this, Cha Moo-hee and Hiro go to that same restaurant. There, Cha Moo-hee checks her phone and learns, "I myself called Hiro here." She sits in front of Hiro and, gathering a little courage, says, "I know I called you here and also kissed you, but all that was just a mistake." By now, Hiro has learned a little Korean, so he starts understanding Cha Moo-hee's words to some extent. Still, many things are still difficult for him. Just then, Cha Moo-hee gathers courage and asks him, "Do you love me?" Hiro immediately answers no without thinking. He had started to like Cha Moo-hee, but he hadn't fully accepted that feeling in his heart yet. Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee feels a strange relief. But just then, Hiro also asks her the same question, "Do you love me?" To this, Cha Moo-hee dismisses the matter with a light laugh and doesn't answer. Finally, both of them decide that for now they will continue the upcoming shooting as good friends. On the very first day of the Italy shoot, as soon as Cha Moo-hee hears Ho-jin's voice, a different kind of happiness automatically comes on her face. Now Cha Moo-hee becomes completely busy with the shooting, but she has no idea at all that during the day she is shooting with Hiro, and at night, becoming Dorami, she is roaming with Ho-jin. One night, Ho-jin helps Cha Moo-hee remember her dialogues. This makes Dorami very happy. She tells Ho-jin, "You've helped me, so you should get a reward. Today I'll tell you why I became a part of Cha Moo-hee." Ho-jin starts listening to her carefully. Dorami tells him all this happened because of an incident from her childhood. Cha Moo-hee knows what happened with her parents in childhood, but she has convinced herself so much that she has forgotten everything that she didn't even realize when people started hating her. Hearing all this, Ho-jin understands Cha Moo-hee had to endure many such things in her childhood where she didn't receive love. While leaving, Ho-jin lovingly places his hand on Cha Moo-hee's head. To this, Dorami asks irritably, "What are you doing?" Ho-jin calmly replies, "I'm showing you love, the same love that you need the most." Hearing this, Dorami also becomes emotional somewhere. Another night, Ho-jin and Dorami are spending time together again, but this time, Ho-jin's eyes fall on some of his crew members who could see them anytime. So Ho-jin quickly moves Dorami away from there. But by then, it's too late. The crew people have recognized that the man was Ho-jin, but because the girl's face was covered, they are unable to see her properly. Meanwhile, the TV production gets the news that the winery location where the shoot was to happen has been completely damaged in a fire. After this, the show's head, Gision, comes forward and says, "We need a new location very quickly. I heard there is someone you know here who runs a big winery." To this, Gision nods with full confidence, saying, "Yes, I will definitely talk to them about this." But that person is none other than Ho-jin's mother. Actually, there has been discord between Ho-jin and his mother for many years. For some reason, both of them haven't even talked to each other for years. During this time, Ho-jin once again reaches to meet Dorami. This time, Dorami has not come just to meet him, but is going to tell him some such truths related to Cha Moo-hee that no one knew until now. Dorami tells Ho-jin, in that accident, Cha Moo-hee's mother murdered her father. And not only that, her mother also tried to kill Cha Moo-hee by giving her poison. She continues, all this was so painful for Cha Moo-hee that she started pretending to forget these things. She didn't want to remember all this ever again. Hearing all this, Ho-jin starts understanding a lot. He immediately grabs Dorami's hand and holds her to his chest. In his own way, he is trying to comfort her. But just then, Dorami tells him, I know you're a very good person, but if you want me to disappear forever, you'll have to go away from Cha-Moo-hee. Only then will I leave forever. Hearing this, Hojin becomes very sad, but he thinks, I care more about Cha-Moo-hee than my own trouble. Sometime later, Cha-Moo-hee becomes normal again. This time, in her dream, Dorami tells her, I have said goodbye to Hojin on your behalf. Now I won't need to come back. When Cha-Moo-hee's eyes open from Dorami's words, she realizes Dorami will never come back now. But still, some things keep troubling her inside. She has absolutely no idea. What has Dorami done with me? Because with Dorami's disappearance, all her memories have also been erased. Here, Hiro's manager tells him there are rumors spreading about Hojin and an unknown girl. Unknowingly, this matter also reaches Cha-Moo-hee. Soon, Cha-Moo-hee learns about these rumors. She thinks, I have no idea who the girl these rumors are about is, not knowing it is herself. In this confusion, she meets Hojin and asks, is it true that you spent a night with some girl? To this, Hojin replies yes without hesitation. Just then, Cha-Moo-hee starts asking more about that girl. After remaining silent for a while, Hojin says, I can tell you everything about that girl, but these things might hurt you a lot. Do you still want to know everything? This time, Cha-Moo-hee doesn't gather the courage to give herself more pain. She stops Hojin from saying anything further. Sometime later, shooting starts again. This time, the whole team reaches Hojin's mother's house. But not seeing Hojin around, his mother asks Gision, I don't see Hojin anywhere. Where is he? Gision, avoiding the matter, says, actually, there's a lot of important work before shooting. Maybe he's busy with that. But the truth is that Hojin is deliberately maintaining distance from his mother. He is happy seeing her on the TV screen, but doesn't gather the courage to come forward and talk to her. During the shooting, Cha-Moo-hee's eyes fall on a photo frame, which is actually of Uncle Kim. When Cha-Moo-hee asks about this, everyone learns the woman is actually Hojin's mother. Learning this, Cha-Moo-hee becomes very happy. She immediately tells Hojin's mother, would you like to talk to your son? As soon as the mother nods yes, Cha-Moo-hee places the device in her hand near her ear. After this, the mother directly tells Hojin, son, this evening I'll make dinner for you. You'll come, won't you? Here. After a few moments of silence, Hojin softly says, yes. Later, Hojin tells Cha-Moo-hee in a slightly angry manner, my mother and I haven't talked to each other for the past 13 years. We had a big fight, and with time our distances kept increasing. But today, because of you, I had to talk to her. Here, Cha-Moo-hee genuinely wants everything to be all right between mother and son. That's why she tells Hojin, you should go to dinner with your mother. Believe me, everything will be fine. After much thought and internal struggle, finally Hojin agrees to Cha-Moo-hee's words and goes to meet his mother. But as soon as Hojin sees his mother close to a younger man, he loses his temper and attacks him. That man also starts responding, considering Hojin as his enemy. The situation keeps deteriorating until his mother herself comes forward and says, stop, Hojin, this is my fiancé, and we both are getting married tomorrow. Hearing this, Hojin becomes even angrier because he had absolutely no idea about this. Seeing the matter getting worse, Cha-Moo-hee pretends to faint right there. When Cha-Moo-hee regains consciousness, Hojin understands she did all this deliberately just to handle the situation. Finally, Hojin listens to Cha-Moo-hee and talks openly with his mother. All the misunderstandings and complaints accumulated in the heart for years gradually get cleared. Later, Hojin also joins his mother's party. There, someone asks Ji-seon, the show's head, are you getting married after the show ends? To this, for the first time, Ji-seon tells the truth in front of everyone. No, my marriage broke off long ago. Hearing this, everyone present is shocked. But Ji-seon, leaving her past behind, decides to make a new beginning with Young-woo. In the middle of the celebration, Cha-Moo-hee comes to meet Hiro. She tells him, our last shooting is tomorrow, so I came to say goodbye to you properly. Then she reads him a letter. In the past few days, we've spent very good time together, and now I've started seeing you as a very good friend of my mother. Hearing these words from Cha-Moo-hee, Hiro breaks completely from inside. Whatever little hopes were left in his heart, they also end at that very moment. After this, Cha-Moo-hee goes to meet Hojin. Hojin asks her, what did you come here to do? Cha-Moo-hee replies, our last shooting is tomorrow, so I came to meet you for the last time. Hojin quietly keeps listening to all her words. Cha-Moo-hee says, I troubled you many times, but you never misunderstood me. I'm very grateful to you for this. Maybe now, even if I want to, I'm going away from you. But to tell the truth, I don't like this at all. Saying this much, she starts to leave. Just then Hojin holds her hand and says, if you don't like it, why are you leaving me? Cha-Moo-hee says in surprise, but you like someone else, right? Actually, Cha-Moo-hee still believes Hojin has a relationship with someone else. This thing hurts Hojin deeply once again. Leaving Cha Moo-hee's hand, he says, "Maybe you're right. We should separate from each other." Saying this much, Hojin leaves from there. After this comes the last day of shooting. Here, Hero, for the last time, tells Cha Moo-hee, "This is what is in my heart." But this time, Cha Moo-hee dismisses his words. These are just part of the show. But now Cha Moo-hee is completely broken inside. After the shoot ends, she goes to a concert with Hero for the last time. There, she meets Hero's manager. The manager, looking at Cha Moo-hee's heels, says, "Miss Cha Moo-hee, do you know? The girl who was with Hojin that night was also wearing exactly such heels." Saying this much, she leaves from there. But at that very moment, Cha Moo-hee starts understanding everything. As soon as she closes her eyes, she realizes, "I remember all the moments spent with Dorami, those nights, those conversations, and every moment spent with Hojin." Cha Moo-hee reaches that same restaurant where she used to often meet Hojin. This time, she writes some of her unfulfilled wishes on a paper and starts to leave from there. At the same time, Hojin also reaches there. He learns everything about Cha Moo-hee from the restaurant owner, who tells him this is the truth about Cha Moo-hee. Without wasting a moment, Hojin sets out to find Cha Moo-hee. Soon, both of them are standing face to face. Seeing him, Cha Moo-hee says, "I remember everything. Dorami too, and all those moments spent with you too." Hojin asks in surprise, "But how is this possible?" Dorami had said that with her leaving, all her memories would also go away. Cha Moo-hee replies, "You're right. I wanted to keep myself away from you. I knew that if I came close to you, I wouldn't be able to bear the pain of separation again. That's why I kept trying to go away from you, but the truth is, I could never really go away from you." Hearing all this, Hojin moves forward and kisses Cha Moo-hee. Then he says, "We will probably separate one day, but as long as we have these moments, I want to live them with you." And in this way, Cha Moo-hee and Hojin come even closer to each other. After this, Cha Moo-hee comes to Hojin's hotel with him. The night is quite peaceful. There's dim light outside the hotel and a strange kind of silence spread inside. She looks at Hojin and asks, "Will you really go away from me?" Hojin, with a slight smile, looks at her. He replies, "Yes, our separation is certain, and maybe this is right for us too. But just think, how long can we drag this relationship? 1 week? 2 weeks? Or at most 1 month?" Cha Moo-hee, hearing his words, laughs lightly and says, "At least we can surely continue for 1 week." Saying this much, they enter the room. The very next moment, the room's light goes off and darkness spreads all around. In that darkness, Cha Moo-hee's voice comes, "Now, what should we do?" Hojin doesn't say anything. Both of them just keep looking at each other, as if wanting to capture this moment in their minds. Then, without any words, they come close to each other and spend that night together. In a way, both of them have made a new beginning. But meanwhile, another big problem arises in front of Cha Moo-hee. There, the show's head tells Gision, there's a news story going around that Cha Moo-hee was having an affair with a married man. Hearing this, the entire TV show crew becomes worried. Everyone fears that this news could directly affect their upcoming show. But here, Cha Moo-hee also soon learns about this news. Upon investigation, she learns the married man being talked about is actually my old ex-boyfriend, Eugene. The good thing is that before the matter gets worse, Cha Moo-hee posts a photo with Eugene and his family on social media. In that photo, everyone looks happy together, after which most people consider that news just a rumor. Sometime later, Eugene himself comes to meet Cha Moo-hee. He tells her, "Thank you. Because of you, our restaurant has grown a lot. If your name hadn't been linked with me, maybe our restaurant wouldn't have become this famous either." Cha Moo-hee almost ignores his words. But just then, Eugene tells a big truth. "All this had to happen because my son has a heart disease. Because of all these reasons, raising money for his treatment became easier." Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee becomes silent for a few moments. Finally, she forgives Eugene and his new family for their mistake. Before leaving, Eugene advises her, "Now you should leave your past behind and focus on your current life. You're a famous celebrity now. Whoever you're with will also become part of people's discussions, so you'll have to take steps very thoughtfully." Eugene's these words settle in Cha Moo-hee's heart. She starts understanding, if I publicly accept Hojin, people will also start targeting him. Thinking all this, Cha Moo-hee's heart becomes heavy and she becomes quite sad inside. During this time, Hojin becomes very angry with his Uncle Kim. He is most hurt by the fact even Uncle Kim has started doubting Cha Moo-hee after hearing the rumors. With a heavy heart, Hojin tells him, "Uncle Kim, I didn't expect this from you at all. If anyone in the world misunderstood Cha Moo-hee, I could have tolerated it. But I never thought you would also think like this about her." Hojin's voice clearly reflects pain. Hearing this, Uncle Kim realizes his mistake. He also becomes emotional and slowly says, "I made a very big mistake, Hojin. I doubted without knowing the truth. Please forgive me." After this, Hojin messages to meet Cha Moo-hee after coming outside, but he gets a reply from her. Cha Moo-hee writes, "Hello, Hojin. Because of all these rumors, we should stay a little apart for a few days." Reading Cha Moo-hee's this message, Hojin's heart breaks somewhere. He was never ready to accept Cha Moo-hee would distance herself from me just because of rumors. There, on the other side, Cha Moo-hee is also not happy with this decision of hers. She thinks, "I have hurt Hojin, but I don't understand what is right and what is wrong." That same night, when Hojin returns home, he is suddenly shocked to see Cha Moo-hee in front of him. But this time, Cha Moo-hee comes forward claiming herself to be Dorami. She deliberately talks in that same manner. Hojin asks in surprise, "What are you doing all this?" Then Cha Moo-hee, taking a deep breath, tells the whole truth. "I know that because of my popularity, if you become a part of my life, people will also say bad things about you. That's why today, becoming Dorami, I'm asking you, if you want to leave Cha Moo-hee now, you can go." Saying this, her voice trembles a little. She is actually freeing Hojin. But instead of stepping back, Hojin stands firmly in front of her and says, "I don't care what the world will say. I also don't care what people will think about us. I only trust you and your words. And no, I'm not going to leave you." Hearing these words from Hojin, Cha Moo-hee's eyes well up. At that moment, she realizes, no matter how loud the voices of the world are, if a person stands with me, fear automatically becomes small. Hearing all this from Hojin's mouth, a different glow comes on Cha Moo-hee's face. Relief and happiness clearly appear in her eyes. Without saying anything, she moves forward and hugs Hojin tightly. At that moment, both of them feel as if all the confusions, all the fears have stopped for a while. The next day, due to work, Hojin sets out to travel by train. While departing from the station, Cha Moo-hee tells him on the phone, "I'll wait for you at the station 2 days later." Hojin, smiling, agrees. As soon as the call ends, Hojin's eyes fall on Gision sitting in front. She is also traveling on that same train. This time, there is no hesitation in Hojin's heart. He has decided, now I have to tell the truth clearly. Hojin tells Gision, "There was a time when I loved you, but now I've found that girl who will truly become my life partner." Gision listens to all this quietly. Here on the other side, Cha Moo-hee also gets a big shock. The showhead asks her, "Would you like to talk on TV about Hiro's confession?" Cha Moo-hee replies in surprise, "But what Hiro said was just part of the show, right?" Just then, in that silence, the showhead says something that makes Cha Moo-hee understand Hiro's confession was not just acting. He said those things truly from his heart. After this, during the TV screening, Cha Moo-hee and Hiro are face-to-face once again, but this time Cha Moo-hee feels a strange nervousness in looking into his eyes. But Hiro has now learned much more Korean than before. To lighten the atmosphere, he smiles and says very peacefully, "I understand. And to tell the truth, I'm very happy for your new love." After this, Cha Moo-hee and Hojin meet again. This time, the circumstances are different. Now there's no misunderstanding, no fear. Both of them start spending time together openly. They roam together, eat together, laugh together, and for the first time truly enjoy every small thing like a couple. Cha Moo-hee starts feeling, maybe now life wants to give me a little peace too. There, a big turn also comes in Jiseon's life. Yong-woo says to her, "Will you marry me?" Jiseon is not ready for marriage right now, but in her heart she accepts Yong-woo as her life partner. For the first time she feels, I am coming out of the past. Meanwhile, one day, Cha Moo-hee is shopping when she suddenly has an encounter with her aunt. This meeting happens completely unknowingly, but this time, the aunt doesn't stay silent. She says directly, "Why does your entire family hate you?" Today, I'll tell you the reason for that. Cha Moo-hee gets nervous. The aunt continues, "Your mother was a killer. She was the one who killed your father. And she was also going to kill you by giving you poison. But you somehow survived by jumping from the balcony. After that, you remained unconscious for many days." Hearing this, Cha Moo-hee's heart trembles. Tears fill her eyes. She asks in a broken voice, "But why did you all keep hating me?" Just then, she gets the biggest shock. The aunt says, "Because you look exactly like your mother. Every time we saw you, we were reminded of all that." Hearing this, the ground slips from under Cha Moo-hee's feet. When she comes home and looks at herself in the mirror, she understands another truth. She realizes what I had been considering Dorami until now was actually my mother's personality. Due to her mother's bad behavior and fear in childhood, Cha Moo-hee's mind had created that same personality inside herself. Dorami was not a separate person, but the fear and anger hidden inside her that wanted to come out for years. Understanding all this, Cha Moo-hee faints. But this time, when she regains consciousness, she is not weak. Now she knows everything. Just then, Hojin reaches there. Seeing him, Cha Moo-hee smiles for the first time without fear. Now she is ready to make a fresh start with him without any hesitation. But just then, Hojin puts another truth in front. He says in a serious voice, "I've learned some such things from your uncle that you should know." Then he says, "Your parents didn't die in that accident. Both of them had survived. They deceived you, left you here, and went somewhere far away themselves? Cha Moo-hee is stunned. Hojin continues, and the one you've been considering as your younger uncle until now, he is actually your father. Hearing such a big truth, Cha Moo-hee completely breaks. Until now, she had been considering, I am an orphan, but now the entire definition of her life changes. Tears start flowing from her eyes. Just then, Hojin moves forward and gives her the support of his shoulders. Without saying anything, he just keeps holding her. After this, Cha Moo-hee makes a big decision. Now she doesn't want to run. Now she wants to face her past. She decides, now I will know the complete truth about my mother. So she goes back to her uncle and aunt and takes her mother's address from them. As soon as she gets the address, without delay, she sets out to find her mother. Before leaving, she goes to meet Hojin. At that moment, there's a strange silence between both of them. Cha Moo-hee, controlling herself, says, I'm ending our relationship right here now, but I promise I will definitely come back. And next time when I forcefully ask you to come into a relationship, don't do too much drama. Just easily accept me. Saying this, her eyes well up. Hojin doesn't say anything. He just keeps looking at her with a slight smile. And with this same emotional moment, both of them separate from each other. Their hero's life also takes a new turn. He is no longer limited to just the show, but earns a good name by working in a Hollywood film. Gradually, his life also moves forward. Time keeps moving at its own pace. Days pass, weeks go by, and in no time, New Year arrives. The entire TV show team is happy because they have sent the show's final cut. Everyone is celebrating in their own way, but Hojin is completely alone that night. He quietly tries to celebrate New Year, but everywhere, he only remembers Cha Moo-hee. Just then, a message comes on his phone. That message is from Cha Moo-hee. She hasn't called just to meet, but this time she finds Hojin without any hesitation, without any fear. Both of them stand in front of each other. No clarification, no questions, just a moment's silence. And then Cha Moo-hee moves forward and hugs Hojin. After that, both of them kiss each other. And with this same kiss, the end of this story happens.